Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back to The Local Show here on 570 WSYR, 106.9, the iHeart Music app, YouTube, on the Zoey page. It's everywhere there, George Flowers.
It is everywhere, isn't it?
It is.
You're ubiquitous everywhere.
Well, see, you like using big words because you went to Clarkson. You're like that smart guy. You know, you got to, right?
Yeah, sure. At least we try to fake it. Fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah. Well, hey, our friends over at Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts, they were part of Alzheimer's workshop with Sheila from Senior Home Care Solutions here back a week or so. Every week, they're helping people save their stuff, right, George?
Wills and trusts are really a critical function that a lot of people don't want to think about. They don't want to think about dying, but guess what? We all do. And I've seen way too many people pass without even a basic will, much less a trust. And I was just talking, actually, the other day, to happen to be my daughter, and said, if something happens to her, she doesn't want the next wife to get all her money.
Well, that's an honest question, though. That's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
Yeah.
Well, my wife and I joke and said, okay, we figured that I'm dying first. Her family.
Why
lives
is
to about
that they always kill the guy off first?
Well, because
explain this to me.
Her women in her family lived about 110 years old. Okay. 75 is my average. So her mother-in-law's outliving me. So we figured that my mother-in-law, her mother.
Do you like her? Your mother?
Yeah, she's
okay,
good.
There's a chance.
Yeah, she's probably listening, by the way. Hello, Elizabeth. But we joke that, okay, if I die off, half of we have a trust. Half of our stuff goes into a trust. So if she hooks up with Biff the pool boy, she can have all the fun she wants, but she can't take my money and give it to Biff's kids.
Well, that's safe control.
It is. And then my money goes to my kids.
Right. And then folks that potentially, 2 out of 3 people go into long-term care at some point.
Correct.
At $18,000 a month.
Also can be done too. And there's different
smokes.
kinds of trusts for different situations. That's not the only reason for a trust. There's a whole lot of reasons to do trusts, and tax-wise, they're much easier than they used to be. So in wills, I've seen people pass without a basic will, and it really creates a
because New York has a will. They're going to show you the way they do it. So safeharborwillsandtrusts.com. If you haven't done it, do it. They're great over there, and they're friends of the show. Ruth Ann Riposa from the Big Shot, #1 head executive director of Elmcrest Children's Center. Welcome.
What an introduction! That was quite the introduction.
Wow. Right?
Thank you for having me.
You are very powerful.
Yes, very excited to be here again.
So welcome. You were very interesting last time, and I think that there's some misconceptions about Elmcrest.
Sure.
So first of all, how did you end up there in your journey?
So I was previously working for a not-for-profit, local not-for-profit, but I have a background in my foundation is social work. So I have a background in working for our local health department. I worked in corrections for a while, worked for another not-for-profit, and that all kind of blended together and led me to this opportunity, which is Elmcrest. And it kind of braids together the background that I have working with children, working, mental health, working with, kids that have gotten in a little bit of trouble, right? And I think it braids all of that together, and it allows for over 20 programs at Elmcrest that really dive into where our kids are at in society today, what their needs are, how we can help them, and how we can give them hope. So we have over 20 programs that help kids in a variety of different ways with some of the barriers they're experiencing in their life as young people.
Well, I think it's scary being a kid.
It is scary being a kid. I was on the Bridge Street the show a couple of weeks ago, and I talked about that. What it's like to be a 15, 16, 17-year-old today looks a lot different than it did even 20 years ago. These kids have gone through a pandemic. These kids have these devices at their fingertips that are constantly used. They can be used for good, but they're constantly used for recording everything, for bullying, for these just messages, these awful messages that come through. And then life kind of sucks sometimes. So you have all of these things, you have all of these pressures, all of these influences, combined with some of the stuff that we've always seen, right? Kids that have, parents that are struggling with different things and have made different choices. So you compile what kids experienced 20 years ago and you add add on to that the pandemic and social media and all these other pressures and stressors.
George probably isn't old enough to have passed a note in school that was shaped like a football. You would fold it up.
Oh, I've done that.
And it would work. Oh my goodness.
I've done that.
And it would fold up. And then
you had to tuck it really tight.
Tuck it really tight. And then a friend would get it, and then would go to another friend. Yeah. It was always about some girl you wanted to talk to, but you weren't sure. But her friend talked to you, and
pass it along.
So now somebody sends a text.
Oh yeah, screenshot goes everywhere. It's posted everywhere. It's on this page and that page. There's nothing there.
It's a lot. Kids can make a dumb mistake and end up really
reliving it over and over. Instead of people forgetting about it after it happened, it's relived over.
Because kids make dumb mistakes, and we all did.
They sure do.
So George, your perception of Elmcrest, you're kind of an outsider looking. I'd be curious.
I guess I don't know enough about Elmcrest.
I love that.
As to what kind of folks do you deal with children? I understand that up to age 22-ish. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what would be a typical patient? Is that fair? That's not fair. Person that would come to you. Youth that would come to you.
Yeah, and I love that because that's what we're hearing, and that's what we're here to do, is to make sure everybody has an understanding. And I hope, like, even on this show today, and you as one person leaving here today are going to have a different impression and understanding of Elmcrest. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity. So historically, we were more of an orphanage type setting. So we would have a residential opportunity for kids who needed somewhere to live. We still have that. That's our root. Our roots are this residential piece. So we have about 60 kids at any point in time that live in our residential program. They're court ordered to be with us. Okay. They come to us from over 20 counties across New York State, including Onondaga County, in which we are right now. But we also have programs like our early ed programs. So we have child care, and we have early intervention services where we have speech and PT, OT, social work services to kids to help prepare them to be ready for kindergarten. So we've got 3 early ed centers right across Onondaga County. We have our brand new mental health crisis respite that opened up in March.
Explain what that is.
Yeah.
We've served over 130 kids to date since the end of March in our crisis respite. Wow. It's a place. We have 2 6-bed programs where kids that are experiencing some type of, like we were just talking about, they're under these pressures, this mental health crisis, right? If you get a sore throat or, like one of your partners on the radio show, he's not feeling good today. So he could have gone to his doctor. He could have gone to urgent care, gotten checked out. We make mental health services readily accessible. Kids can come and stay with us 2 weeks, 3 weeks, up to 21 days and kind of hit their reset. Let's say they were experiencing some significant level of anxiety, depression, thoughts of self-harm, hopelessness. We're an option to having them go to like the hospital or to CPAP. We give them the ability to come and stay with us in a not sterile setting. It's very home-like.
It is. I've been there.
You've been there.
It's
safe. Beautiful. Safe. We just put in new basketball hoops, courts. Okay. We've got new, swing set. But it's they're going to get the therapeutic services they need, but in a very warm, caring, safe therapeutic environment.
Now, be the question that some of us think about: how does a person pay for that?
Insurance covers this.
It does. Okay.
Yep. People can work with their insurance companies, but we've seen a majority of our stays be covered through people's insurance.
Does Medicaid cover that too?
Mm-hmm. It does.
For folks who don't have health insurance?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep. So that's kind of like our campus, what we have right on campus. We have an EPIC program where we provide employment supports to help youth get gainfully employed.
Oh, wow.
That's just what's on campus over on Salt Springs. Okay. Uh-huh. We have a variety of programs in the community. We're down in Cortland and Binghamton. We're up in Mexico.
So I'm going to interrupt with a quick question.
Oh, yeah.
Can listeners hear your smile? Because there's something that's going on here that this isn't, you're not just like reading a script. This is changing lives.
It is changing lives.
And I can see it in your heart and your passion. Let's unpack a few more of these things after the break.
Sure.
You're listening to The Local Show. This is Ruth Riposa. She's the executive director up at Elmcrest. And we're going to hear some more of the exciting things coming up next after the break here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for sharing time with us here on The Local Show. We're going to continue to talk to Ruth Riposa, who is the big shot queen leader, #1 executive director, passionate, excited, and inspiring with all the things going on at Elmcrest. So I have a question.
Yes.
I heard there were elves roaming around somewhere. What is this
We
deal
hope
with
so.
Can you say that word? Is that a
We
political?
hope
Can
so.
I say elves?
We're looking for Elmcrest elves. We are looking. We have the holidays coming up. November 1st. Today's November 1st. The snow confirmed. Today's November 1st.
Yeah. The snow was Wednesday, but yes, keep going.
So as we prepare for the holidays at Elmcrest, like I shared with you, we've got 60 kids, on average that are, at Elmcrest, and they're going to be spending the holidays with us. So we, like anyone does with their kids, they collect these wish lists, and we're able to identify what the kids want, So whatever items they want will go on this wish list. What we do is we partner with Amazon, and we will create almost like a registry on Amazon. You can go through our website, elmcrest.org, to be connected right to the Amazon Smile page. But it's Elmcrest Elves. That's going to be the gift list on Amazon. So what we'll do is probably over the next week, we will upload every single youth's wish list items to the Elmcrest Elves page on Amazon Smile. The link will be available through elmcrest.org. So if people want to participate, it's as simple as going on to Amazon. You could purchase when you're doing your holiday shopping. You could purchase an additional gift for one of the youth at Elmcrest.
Apparently, that's pretty easy on Amazon.
That's so easy.
I see it on our debit card about every day from my wife. Apparently, it's fairly simple.
One of my dear friends is getting married. I went on last night. Same thing on the registry. It's going to get shipped right to her house. It takes it's painless.
So if people want to give to a child. Mm-hmm. That maybe hasn't had a fantastic life at this point and is it a crossroads of their life?
Correct.
And you guys are creating a safe place. I don't mean to overuse that term, but that's really what it is, where they can learn and grow and move on. They can go to elmcrest.org and they're going to find the elves there?
Yes, Elmcrest Elves. It'll link them. We'll have a link right into the Amazon. They can use their Amazon account, select a gift. It'll literally have a direct impact over the holidays on an individual youth in Elmcrest. Fantastic.
Awesome.
Pretty
that's
painless.
Great.
Yeah.
And it goes direct. So you don't just throw money off something.
That's right.
You're
going to literally be able to purchase an item that a kid specifically said they wanted for the holiday.
That's all.
That's cool. Because
there's no more feel good than that.
Yeah, it makes an impact.
No, there isn't. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Elmcrest has gotten a bad rap from some over the years.
Not so much Elmcrest. I think it's been more about what we do at Elmcrest or who we support at Elmcrest. I think one of the things that we hear from time to time is, well, that's where the bad kids go. That's where the bad kids are. And we have youth there that are there because life has been kind of slated against them, right? Whether it be some family dynamics, community dynamics, and this gives them an opportunity. The chapter of their life that they're at Elmcrest gives them the opportunity to learn skills, social skills, and develop who they are as human beings to be successful members in their communities when they leave Elmcrest. We're not their whole story, but we're a chapter.
No, am I wrong, or do you have staff that actually went through Elmcrest and now they've come full circle and they're actually turning and helping? I think I heard that somewhere.
Yes, we've had a few staff that at one point in time were in our residential program at Elmcrest, and they've been able to come back and work in some capacity and be able to further transform the youth that we have and transform the communities in which they live by helping these youth.
Now, you said that you have a place where they can be for 21 days.
Yes, that's our crisis respite. Yes.
But so a lot of kids don't live there. You just offer services to them.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep. We have several programs where kids live anywhere from months to sometimes years at a time. And then our crisis respite program is a separate program.
Okay.
It's through the Office of Mental Health. It's a certified program through Office of Mental Health. It's a crisis respite program for kids that are in some type of mental health emergency in their life. The residential program, they're court ordered to us due to struggling to be able to maybe be in a foster home or be with their natural families due to certain barriers.
What's this rumor here? You're tearing up the earth in Tully. Tell me about that.
So we have beautiful property down in Tully. We have about 100 acres called Skeel Valley. We've just transitioned that space there into a 6-bed boarding home for young men. that are looking to develop skills to make them more financially independent, gainfully employed. The system taps out at 22. So the kids, when they hit their 22nd birthday, they're out of that system that they're in right now.
They're given the boot.
Yes, that's correct. So we have 6 beds down in Tully. If they're still in high school, the kids are able. We partner with the Fabius Pompey School District. We have a wonderful partnership with them. The kids are able to go to school there, continue their education, get through high school. If they're out of high school, we work with them on employment skills, financial literacy on this beautiful 100-acre property down in Tully. It's our new. We just opened it up this last month, in October.
Okay.
So.
Wow. So are you staffing that, or tell us about?
Yes. So we have, one of the things that I really love about Elmcrest is, we just had a conversation over the break about college and things like that. And college isn't for everyone. Not everybody's looking to graduate high school and go on to college. If you're a person that you're deciding still if college is right for you or not, and you care about human beings, right? Elmcrest has opportunities for you. We have entry-level positions in our child care, in our residential program, in our program over across from Nob Hill Apartments, our Casey's Place program that works with children with developmental disabilities. We have entry-level positions that have their own career path. So we could bring in somebody with little experience, high school diploma, bring them in, give them a decent. You're going to make a little bit more with us than you would at McDonald's or Dunkin', and I'm not knocking that.
And it's a path.
But it's a path where we can develop you into leadership roles and, increasing salaries as you develop professionally with us. We have career ladders for starting off as entry level. You can really have a career at Elmcrest.
Do you have openings in that?
We do.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
We have openings in our child care. We have openings in our residential program, and then at our Casey's Place program, which is specific for kids with developmental disabilities.
Are those all on the website? The
Elmcrest.org. Yes, you can go right on our website and apply and really look at the opportunities that we have available.
That's exciting.
It is very exciting. Being part of something great and meaningful.
Well, yeah, they're doing something, because that's more and more kids you read about these days. They want to be involved in something that's more than just a job, that has a calling per se.
Yes.
That is something that will help. And a lot of kids don't want to go to college or shouldn't go to college, and that's okay. But to have a path is an awesome place to go.
What about somebody that maybe retired and they're an older person, they want to come back and maybe be employed or maybe be a volunteer? Are you looking for folks like that in any of those spaces?
We absolutely are. One of the beautiful things that we have, especially with our Casey's Place program, is we have some really unique part-time opportunities where someone, let's say, I want to work maybe 15, 20 hours a week. I don't want to work 40. I don't want to, where we have opportunities that are really, more like those after school or weekend opportunities where they could really, do something incredibly cool, right? Working with kids after school, working with kids on a weekend, giving mom and dad a break. We have our respite programs to give mom and dad a break on the weekends. They could come and do something meaningful and still earn some money as well. I think that's we're always looking for people that are looking for that type of opportunity.
And they can connect again on the website, elmcrest.org.
Yes.
And thank you, Ruth Ann, for being here. You can feel and hear the passion, and folks that look on YouTube can see the smile, and it's real and it's genuine. And Elmcrest is here in the community, making a difference. Mm-hmm. And imagine if it wasn't there, what a gap. So it's making a difference. So get involved, donate, become an elf.
Yes, Elmcrest elves. Yes,
need elves.
Become an elf. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, next up on the local show, we are going to talk to Matt Mallory, owner of PS and Ed of Mallory Unlimited. Next on the local show here on 570 WSYR.